Good afternoon. You're watching News on 2. I'm Zalia Khairin Ismail. The search and rescue SAR operation to find 4 other anglers feared drowned while fishing at Sungai Gasi near the Sungai Buloh camp yesterday evening continued into the wee hours of the morning. Selangor Fire and Rescue Department Deputy Director Hassan Asari Omar said the operation involving 70 members from various agencies was still ongoing at press time, with focus placed on areas in Kampung Paya Jaras Hulu and in Kuala Selangor. The department also urged the public to inform the authorities if they spotted any of the victims. Latest information revealed that a body of a man was found 7 kilometers from the location of the tragedy at 8 p.m. yesterday, despite earlier reports stating that the body was found at 9:49 p.m. Hassan Asari said 2 rescue boats arrived at the search area at 10 p.m. to help in the operation. Another body was found at 1:26 a.m. this morning, about 9 kilometers from the location of the tragedy in Sungai Gasi. Meanwhile, Sungai Buloh Police Chief Superintendent S. Somu said the families of the missing victims had been called to facilitate the body identification process. The government has welcomed the proposal to set up a task force to plan, enforce, strategize and implement steps towards the prevention of drowning, given the worrying number of such incidents recently. Commenting on the matter yesterday, Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi urged Chairman of the National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health NIOSH, Tan Sri Lilam Tai, to submit the proposal soon for further action.
NIOSH ini adalah di bawah Kementerian Sumber Manusia dan kita harap kertas memorandum kepada Jemaah Menteri dapat dikemukakan untuk kami lakukan penelitian terhadap cadangan yang baik itu.
The Deputy Prime Minister told reporters after a working visit to the Sabah Police Contingent Headquarters in Kota Kinabalu. A total of 18 passengers have been injured when a bus driver lost control of the vehicle, went over the divider and ended up in a ditch at kilometre 17 of the Nita Road, Mersing at 12:35 p.m. last night. The accident occurred when the 59-year-old bus driver was en route from Malacca to Mersing with 32 passengers, including 10 students from Johor Mersing Polytechnic PMJ, were on their way to their respective hostels after Chinese New Year celebrations. Only one passenger, a woman who hasn't been identified and was on her way to Endau, sustained severe injuries to her left ribs and fractured her left hand. She was admitted to Mersing Hospital. Others injured received treatment at Felda's Health Clinic Nitar 1 and at Mersing Hospital. Mersing Fire and Rescue Department officer Sarhan Akmal Muhammad said the rescue operation was carried out after receiving a distress call at 12:43 a.m. Meanwhile, Mersing District Police Chief Superintendent Cyril Edward Nguyen said a preliminary check showed the bus had skidded before it was flung into the trench by the roadside. 36 suspects, including an individual with the title of Datuk, have been arrested in a special operation codenamed Ops Chantas Silver for their alleged involvement in murder, robbery, extortion and drug trafficking. Perak Police Chief Datuk Hasnan Hassan said all arrests were made on January 27th in Perak, Selangor, Malacca and Johor. According to Perak Police Chief Datuk Hasnan Hassan, the suspects aged between 20 and 60 years old are allegedly members of an underworld gang called Gang 04. He added that the suspects were also linked to the murder of a Datin Sri in front of a restaurant in Brickfields, Kuala Lumpur on July 6, 2016 and the murder of a man in Hutan Melintang, Bagan Dato in November 2016.
26 orang ditangkap di Perak, Melaka, Johor dan Selangor. 10 berada di penjara Pokok Sena, Taiping, Batu Gajah dan Sungai Udang turut sama ditangkap. Most of the 36 orang yang saya sebutkan tadi are leaders. They are not the lower ranking but the higher ranking.
Dato' Hasnan said police also seized cash, jewellery, several vehicles and froze bank accounts belonging to the suspects worth 4.5 million ringgit, adding that police are still trying to track down a few more suspects. The Malacca police seized 53 kilograms of shabu concealed in tea bags from an ice storage box during raids on rental houses in Malay Malacca last Saturday. The seizure of the drug worth about 3.7 million ringgit also saw the police arrest 5 men and 3 women aged between 20 and 31 who were suspected members of a drug trafficking syndicate to facilitate investigations. Bukit Aman NCID Director Datuk Sri Muhammad Saleh said, apart from the shabu, 33 grams of ketamine and an ecstasy tablet were also found at one of the houses during the raids, which were mounted between 2:30 a.m. and 6:30 p.m.
Dadah yang dirampas ini kita percaya adalah untuk pasaran tempatan dan juga untuk pasaran negara jiran. Dan rampasan ini juga kita dapati adalah yang terbesar di negeri Melaka. Kalau ikut sejarah yang kita adalah yang terbesar di negeri Melaka. Dan sebagaimana biasa, dadah-dadah ini adalah untuk kegunaan di pusat-pusat hiburan. Daripada 8 tangkapan tadi, 4 orang didapati positif dadah, 3 daripadanya positif metamfetamin dan 1 orang positif ketamine. Dan daripada tangkapan ini juga kita mendapati 4 orang daripada mereka mempunyai rekod jenayah dan rekod penyalahgunaan dadah.
He said the police also seized 2 cars and a motorcycle, as well as cash and jewellery worth more than 54,000 ringgit. He added that the suspects have been remanded for a week until February 24th to facilitate investigations under Section 39B of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952, which carries the mandatory death sentence upon conviction. The Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency MMEA has detained 3 Vietnamese registered fishing trawlers and 40 Vietnamese fishermen for encroaching into Malaysian waters about 123 nautical miles off Kuala Terengganu yesterday. According to Kuala Terengganu Maritime District 9 Deputy Director, Lieutenant Commander Simon Templer Lotusa, the foreigners, aged between 18 and 52 years, were caught for fishing in the exclusive economic zone during MMEA's Perkasa Timur operation. Further investigations revealed that the detainees, comprising of 3 skippers and 37 crew members, did not have any personal identification documents or fishing permits. They had hoisted the Malaysian and Terengganu state flags in an attempt to avoid detection by the local authorities. Random checks are being carried out on people travelling between Sabah and Peninsular Malaysia to catch those who might be using fake Malaysian identity cards, including militants. In confirming this yesterday, Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said random checks at airports were necessary in efforts to identify holders of fake identity cards. Datuk Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid, who is also the Home Minister, said that the National Registration Department and Immigration had been involved in arresting not only fake identity card holders but also investigating syndicates operating in Sabah.
Siasatan sedang dijalankan untuk pihak KDN melalui JPN dan PDRM membuka kertas siasatan terhadap adanya perbuatan-perbuatan yang menjual kad-kad pengenalan palsu yang berkenaan.
The Deputy Premier said this in response to news reports that a suspected militant had been found living in Peninsular Malaysia using a fake identity card obtained from Sabah. He said that Sabah and Sarawak had immigration requirements for the use of identity cards for travellers coming in and out of the 2 states. 3 million ringgit allocation for Mawib Hospital. Stay with us, details coming up. The Department of Civil Aviation DCA has been transformed into the Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia, or CAM, effective yesterday, in line with the government's commitment to spur the nation's aviation industry to greater heights. Transport Minister Datuk Sri Liao Tiong Lai said in a statement, the statutory body, which will be overseen by his ministry, would regulate the safety and security aspects, besides playing a vital role in maintaining the nation's competitive edge within the global aviation sector. As an independent regulatory body, Datuk Sri Liao said the CAM's responsibilities would include safeguarding civil aviation operations in the country, exercise safety regulatory oversight of the civil aviation and regulate the operation of aerodrome services and facilities. The minister added that the camp would also encourage, promote, facilitate and assist in the development and improvement of civil aviation capabilities, skills and services in the country. The camp is helmed by Datuk Sri Azharuddin Abdul Rahman as its chairman and Ahmad Nizar Zulfakar as its chief executive officer. Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak has announced a 3 million ringgit grant for the Federal Territories Islamic Religious Council or MAWIP Hospital in Selayang Cataract Surgery Centre. The Prime Minister said that besides helping needy patients, the centre would also be able to buy new equipment. Cataract surgery is offered for as low as 103 ringgit at the centre located in Sri Utara of Jalan Ipoh, Kuala Lumpur. With about 30 patients receiving good treatment daily, the centre, which is operated by the council with cooperation from the hospital, serves patients of all races and faiths.
Dan ini menunjukkan bahawa dalam soal kesihatan kita beri layanan yang adil dan saksama. Walaupun MAWIP memberi sumbangan tetapi dia tidak hadkan pada orang Islam saja, dia terbuka pada semua kaum.
The Prime Minister told reporters during a visit to the centre yesterday, accompanied by Health Ministry Director General Datuk Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah. To date, the centre has treated a total of 12,100 patients since it was set up in 2013. Given the strong export performance in 2017, Malaysia is expected to continue dominating the world market for rubber gloves, especially medical gloves for use in the healthcare sector. Plantation Industries and Commodities Minister Datuk Sri Mas Yew Keong said the industry is confident of achieving the target of securing at least 65% of global exports of rubber gloves in 2020. According to Datuk Sri Ma, last year, Malaysia's exports of rubber gloves hit an all-time high, benefiting from the synchronized recovery in global growth and demand. For 2017, exports grew at a robust pace of 19.4% year-on-year to 15.9 billion ringgit compared with 13.3 billion ringgit previously. Malaysia is currently the world's largest supplier of rubber gloves, capturing more than 60% of the global market in volume. China is one of the fastest growing markets, with the export value reaching 906.9 million ringgit in 2017 from 362.2 million ringgit in 2016, which is a growth of 250%. Malaysians registered voters in the domestic postal voter category can now apply for postal voting. Election Commission Chairman Tan Sri Muhammad Hashim Abdullah in a statement said these voters could apply for postal voting if their employers confirmed that they were needed to be on duty on the polling day. Tan Sri Muhammad Hashim said general election staff, police and army personnel who cannot go for early voting as well as members of the media could apply using Form 1A. Members of the Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency, Prisons Department, Fire and Rescue Department, police volunteers, staff of government hospitals and clinics, Civil Defence Force, Immigration Department, National Disaster Management Agency, and the registration department stationed at urban transformation centres must do so by filling in Form 1C. The completed Form 1A must be submitted to the returning officer's office at each polling division, while the completed Form 1C must be sent to the Postal Voting Management Unit at the EC headquarters in Putrajaya, either by post or via email to upup@spr.gov.my or fax to 03-8881-0424. The applications for the first category, Form 1A, will be closed on nomination day, while for the second category, National cycling ace Muhammad Azizul Hasni Awang was once again left disappointed in his own backyard after managing to secure only silver in the men's individual sprint event at the Asian Track Championships ATC 2018. The 30-year-old, also known as the Pocket Rocket Man, hit the track at the National Velodrome in Nilai Negeri Sembilan last night with the mission of defending the Asian Sprint King title he garnered in last year's edition, but had to settle as first runner-up after losing to Kazunari Watanabe of Japan. South Korea's Im Chae-bin was second runner-up for the event. When met by reporters after the race, the Terengganu-born athlete admitted his disappointment but stressed the defeat was due to the higher gear used by the Japanese rider.
Tactically memang perfect semualah, memang tak ada apa yang saya boleh improve. Cuma dari segi gearing lah untuk perlombaan tadi Macam saya dengan John pun memang kita bincang lah. Should we pakai gear yang lebih berat lah. Kita ada option kan. Tapi after discuss, kita decide to stay dengan apa yang saya kayu sekarang ni lah.
Prior to this, Azizul missed another gold medal after only securing bronze in the Kirin event last Saturday. However, he managed to create a new Asian record in the men's elite sprint by clocking 9.774 seconds during the qualifying round. The decision by the Indonesia Asian Games organisers to reduce the number of bowling events has given national coach Holloway Chia a headache. The organisers have decided to forgo the men and women's singles and doubles disciplines. Only 6 gold medals will be offered at the Games from August 18th to September 2nd in the men and women's trios, teams and masters events. Holloway also disclosed that the team events will be contested by 6 bowlers instead of 5. Although he has yet to receive the technical handbook, Holloway said he had received information that there will be format changes for the team and masters events. In the masters, each nation will only be represented by their 2 highest-ranked bowlers. Holloway said he has shortlisted 6 men and 6 women for the Asian Games.
I have to concentrate on these 6 names. Unless something happens with any one of them, like injury or this, then I will look further down.
He told reporters yesterday after the working committee meeting between the Malaysian 10-pin Bowling Congress and the National Sports Council. In the 2014 Incheon edition, Malaysia returned with silver medals in the women's singles and doubles and men's trios and team events. That concludes this afternoon's edition of News on 2. In our top story, search for Sungai Buloh anglers continues after 2 bodies found. News on 2 will be back at 7 p.m. Till then, I'm Zalia Karni Ismail. Thanks for watching and have a pleasant day.